Greetings, everyone. This is Gerard, aka Double OG, Mr. Vegas to some, representing the purple one, the Continental, the Prince of Wannabes, and editor-in-chief of Filipino Soul Magazine, aka SGIB Magazine, stand for Soldiers Got Intentions, Believe That. Because everyone should be searching for something, a dream, a goal, an idea, a train of thought, something. And on our PVG's production, stand for Photos by Gerard, the best in freelance publicity photography. I wanted to speak to you about something. First of all, why I call myself Double OG. You know, I call myself Double OG because I'm not just an OG, I'm a Double OG. That means I've done twice as much as the average G has done. And not only that, I'm up there in years, a lot of OGs to make it to my age and has done as much as I do and still free and able to travel the world. You got to be a Double OG, like 007 James Bond. You got to be a Double OG. That means you had to be doing something right, and I know I have. Mr. Vegas to some, because there was a time when I broadcasted on Dawn Reed's radio from Florida, her podcast, and I was known as Mr. Vegas, giving her stories and having artists call in and talk to her listeners. It went away because one time there was some stuff going on, and I contacted Sean Bell's mother. Sean Bell was a young man who was killed, shot on the eve of his wedding, leaving his bachelor party. Him and two other men, Joe Guzman and Trent Lott, who were got into a brawl or a fight in the club. There were plain clothes in there who were drinking, and because they were blending in. And I guess Trent Lott or either one of them said, "I'm gonna go get my gun," and so that's what they heard, was going to get his gun. So of course they walked 2 blocks to their automobile, at which at any given time the police officers could have stopped them and said, "Okay, look, we'll go to your vehicle because we heard you say you got to get a gun, whatever." But they didn't. What they did was that they waited till they got to their car, and then when they turned the vehicle on to leave, they were attacked like this, blocked in by vehicles. They didn't know. They had no time to identify themselves as police officers, anything like that. And of course, when they dug down, the police officer thought they were reaching for a gun, and they opened fire, killing Sean Bell. That was what's it? I forgot where I was going with that. But so I broadcast. I had his mother on, talking about what it was like living past doing something, being the mother of a murdered son who was killed by police and being unarmed. At that time, Dawn had felt that it wasn't the format that they were doing, which I understood. It wasn't. It wasn't. But sometimes, you just have to, step out of the box and not do and something that's more important than just entertainment. But I thought it was important for them for listeners to know what it was, that there was a grieving mother who had lost her son to gun violence. And because they were in the state of Florida, of course, we know Florida, it was something, as far as they're concerned, it was just another black man dead. Hey, you know, there's something that's funny. I'm watching TV, I'm channel surfing, and I'm looking at all these new shows, all new shows about knights and medieval and king, queen, era. It's amazing how the length they go through to exclude blacks. There weren't no blacks during that era. So as you notice, there are no black actors or actresses in any of those series, so it's just amazing how they said the Vikings, all that stuff like that, I think it's funny. I absolutely think it's funny how, of course, a lot of the actors are more closely, resemble Aryan nations, white supremacists, and all that stuff, skinheads and whatever, they seem to be getting the job these days. But all is not lost. If it wasn't for the Iraq War and the war in Afghanistan, look how many Iranians and Pakistanians who are working now. Whenever they do their reenactments or their stories or their series, about the war. So I guess the good thing that's come out that a lot of them are being employed now. Of course we're there too. We often, one or two of us who are sprinkled in there, but so I guess that's kind of a bright thing. So anyway, that's why I call myself, Mr. Vegas, because the radio show was on. The Continental, because that's what Prince had called himself. Prince had a song called The Continental. If you ever get a chance, all right, cut. The fade to black. Now bring it up. Let me kick the facts. And I'm going to show you how you wanna. And do you like you wanna be done. Continental. Do you like to go on the merry-go-round? Like when you used to go up and down? You got to hear that song, The Continental. And of course, the Prince of Wannabes. And I once mentioned to you once before that I was watching a Charlie Manson interview, and he had said that's he was not the Pied Piper, but he was the Prince of Wannabes. People who want to be this or people who want to be that. He always, I guess, sold them on the fact that he was able to make them achieve what it was they want to be. And so that's how I see myself, the Prince of Wannabes, because people have always wanted to, not only just be in the magazine, be an actress or be a model or be a singer or whatever they wanted to be. I've always kind of gone out my way to, I know how to support. So I've often kind of gone out of my way to try to make their dreams come true or, be what it is that they want to be, And I always photograph a lot of wannabe models. So I guess that's what made me the Prince of Wannabes. There's no telling how far I could have gone if I had somebody behind me who actually supported me the way I know how to support someone else. But I've never had, and it's unfortunate because often the time when I'm in a relationship, although we're together, but people are, oh, he's nice, he's good, wow, he's such a good guy, he's so generous, he's funny, he's this, and often the time the person I'm with say, yeah, but he's got holes in his socks. Oh yeah, well, you should see his underwear got holes in his underwear. Oh yeah, well, instead of saying yes, he's a very nice person, they always tend to want to dump salt on me to the point to whereas after a while people say, well, God, why are you with him? But at the same time, I don't want you to have him. I never had a girlfriend who wants to tell me, quick, come here, I want you to be my other girlfriend. I've always been kind of like an undercover lover. One that, where it's funny because, I never met a couple where the guy liked me and the wife did. It was always either the guy liked me and the wife didn't, or the wife didn't because the guy liked me, because the girl didn't like me because I hung around girls, and the guy didn't like me because I hung around girls. Because the girlfriends liked me. So I remember this one girl punched me in my mouth because her boyfriend was going with me, out and everything, and she was upset. She hooked me, bam. I said, wow, you go with it. I said, wow, cold-blooded. But anyway, it's that's how it's been. But I was listening to some song, I wish you were able to listening to my playlist. My playlist is so awesome that I never get tired of listening to it because and I still got plenty of more, songs on my computer, like shaking that ass on the floor, bumping and grinding and more. I think I'm losing control, But this song here, I kind of like it because there's a lyrics in there that I really enjoy. I'm gonna say it. Hold on, say it when you say it. So I'm not playing loud enough where you can actually hear it because they might block me. But I'm going to speak the lyrics. What am I doing? Okay, here we go. Okay, I love this lyric. 2 to the 1 to 1. Okay. 2 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a toilet seat. 3 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. I met a bad bitch last night at the 3. Let me tell you how I made her leave with me. conversation at hand. I've been to the motherfucking mountaintop. Heard motherfuckers start singing the drop. If I ain't got a weapon, I'm gonna pick up a rock and I'm gonna bust your ass till I can tell you the drop. Get your ass on the floor with your 2 left feet. Anyway, and there's also another part in there that says, I want a woman who knows that she can walk, who walks around with no panties on. She knows that she can, but she won't say no. So anyway, that's the next song. Anyway, I want to tell you, talk about my playlist. There's one of the songs right there. But there was a time when one of the artists who I really enjoy listening to is Raphael Sadiq. And when I pursue artists, often the time I pursue them because I personally enjoy them. And so I got an opportunity to interview. I've interviewed Raphael a couple of times. And it was in the heart of Manhattan. He was eating lunch and by himself, you know, and he asked me to join him. I said, no. I said, I'll wait till you finish. And so when we walked out of the restaurant, you know, there was all these people walking by, and I mean, this was Broadway. This is Times, this is the Broadway section, you know, where not Times Square, but just where all the theaters were, and there's people on the sidewalk, and I'm trying to, well, God, how am I going to photograph this guy? Get a shot of him. So because Raphael's not that tall, and the people around him, I said, Raphael, I'll tell you what, bend down. So he bent down and squatted like this, and you could see the people going by him like this. See, being a photographer, you have to think fast on your feet, especially when you're in a photo shoot. When you're in a photo shoot, it's so important that you keep the energy going. That means that you have to be thinking. You can't let a moment, stagnate, whereas the model or them thinking, well, he doesn't know what he's doing or whatever. You got to constantly be thinking and telling them what to do and whatever. And so I said, are you happy? I said, bend down. So he bent down like this, and bam, bam, I took this great shot of him. I him just bending down like this with the people walking by him. But I also got another opportunity to interview him in Central Park. This is when he was performing, and he was performing at one of the hip-hop reunions. It was one of the big hip-hop reunions in Central Park. All of them are there. I'm backstage. All of them are there, And so, on the stage, Whodini was one of the artists who were performing. So, not knowing much about rap, or what hip-hop, I said, well, I'm going to check out Whodini. You know what I'm saying? Freaks come out at night, Wild Wild West, you know what I'm saying? So I said, let me check out Whodini. So I'm right in front of the stage. Some guys are standing next to me. So Whodini comes out and they're doing their thing. And so I tell this guy, I said, hey. He said, yo, what's up? I said, which one's Whodini? He looked at me and said, which one's Whodini? Which one's Whodini? Who are you, man? What are you doing back here, man? Talking about which one's Whodini. I was felt like this. So I kind of sneaked away back and left that kind of area with someone else. Which one's Whodini? So it was kind of funny. I have to go to show you that I really didn't know much about music at all. When I did my workout and everything, but it was raining, so I did the water, so I didn't do it. So that's why I'm doing my little footage right here. But there's another song that goes, let's see, how does it go? It says, what means the world to you? My sex, my buddy. What means the world for you? Sex is sweet, but a cat who eats. I said, bingo! Hey! You know what I'm saying? So I have a lot of nice songs. That's what I was talking about when I said I never really bought anybody's music. Whatever it was that I couldn't get off the radio or something like this or whatever, then I wasn't interested in. And I have accumulated a whole treasure trove of songs, man. And sometimes I just let it play, man. And sometimes I'm surprised what comes out of it and sends me back. I love that song Still by Jennifer Lopez. It's interesting that often the time, or hardly ever once, has an artist who I heard one song that motivated me to go out and buy the whole project. Just like Jennifer Lopez, I like Jennifer Lopez, that one song Still. Nothing else I've really heard from her or anything like that. Or, You know, Mary J. Blige. You know, I like the one that says "Stay Down" and the one that she does with the Method Man. And I never really heard anything else. Oh yeah, the one where she's on the steps, so she's going down. I gotta find that. It just hit me. I like that song. But that's virtually it. So it's raining, but I was in the pool, man. It was like it was swimming in rain bars, man. It was cold. I'm sorry about you, New York. I heard you guys got 30-degree weather and snow's on its way. Oh hell. Okay. So with that being said, this is Gerard, editor-in-chief of Filipino Soul. Double OG, Mr. Vegas' son, the Continental, the Prince of Wannabes, representing SGIB magazine. It stands for Soldiers Got Intentions. Believe that, because everyone should be soldiering for something. See, I hate this thing. I hit the wrong button. But that was Teddy Pendergrass. The whole town's laughing at you. Oh my God, do I love that song. Maybe if I spent just a little more time with you, then maybe then you'll still be mine. Whoa. And maybe if I've been just a little more kind to you, there'll be no reason for this man to ever be crying. Whoa! I wish I could sing. Like Ali Woodson, former lead singer of The Temptation, once sung, "If you're lucky enough to have a woman treated like a lady." And my golly, wow, ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make him feel like a king. Remember, I'll always love you more. I'll talk to you later. Peace.